The weekly recap. All right, so we got to start with what was sort of publicized by Russian Machine earlier today. They said, quoting someone whose name escapes me, but they believe that the Caps are among the two front-running teams to take a shot at Artemi Panarin as the Rangers go fire sale here. What are your initial thoughts after reading that headline?
Yeah, I mean, this time of year, you got to take everything like that with a grain of salt. I don't want to get too excited about it. Never know, but big if true. I mean, like we said earlier in the episode, I don't see that as like a future move for the Caps. Like, I don't see him coming here and signing to retire as a Cap and play 5 more years here or something like that. But um, I, as far as all the rental options go, I would take it. I think he would add a lot to the team. He's pretty much exactly the caliber of skill that we're looking for, I would say, on the wing. Um, you know, I almost wonder what the cost difference in acquiring a guy like that versus acquiring somebody like Alexis Lafreniere would be. I'd love to see the side by side of what we'd have to give up, because Lafreniere, like I said before, could be more of a future option. Somebody younger, he's got a lot left in the tank. Somebody to continue to build the team around, but we've also got a lot of young prospects, so maybe that's not what we want. Maybe we want just the rental guy to fill in right now, and then next year we're hoping that an Ilya Protas or somebody else moves up. So it just depends how they want to look at it. What do you think it would take to get Panarin? Like, what's like a package that you would offer? You think that would be fair?
I think at least one player going back. I don't think they're going to give up someone like that and not have something immediately to, sort of satisfy that vacancy. I'm not saying it has to be a 1-to-1 here for the player that Panarin is, but probably looking at someone younger. The Caps have sort of come out and said guys like Ryan Leonard, Cole Hudson, Ilya Pro, and Crystal probably not going back the other way.
Yep.
So,
which is good.
What scares me there is, like, do they get ballsy and try and flip a guy like Connor McMichael or something?
I'm a little worried about that too,
because that's where I would shut it down immediately. I would say no.
I don't want to do that. I'd be willing to talk LaPierre. I'm not willing to talk McMichael, and I am a little scared of that too. I've seen his name come up before in like hypotheticals or even like after the fact things, when you find out like, oh, we were considering moving this guy for that guy if he hadn't have gotten traded elsewhere. I've seen McMichael's name pop up. So I know he's been floated in past years as like, well, what would you think about this? I don't want to see him go anywhere. So
I totally agree. I don't want to see him moved either. I think, even just from a heartbeat of the locker room thing, I think that would 100%. Be a huge loss for the team. So,
yes.
Yeah, don't be stupid is what we're saying. But, if you can go get it done, go get it done. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, if, Panarin can put pucks in the net, because it seems like no one on this team wants to do that right now, that would be great. So, that's... Go ahead.
I was just going to say, speaking of right now, should we talk about the last couple shit show games we've had?
Yeah, it's not good. It's actually getting kind of painful to watch, and I say that with all the love in my heart. And of course, I'm still going to continue to watch, but yeah, it's not great. That game against San Jose was just so frustrating. I know we previewed that last episode, but oh my God, you were just killing me.
This is about as frustrated as I've seen this team and this fan base under Spencer Carberry. I think he's yet to have to deal with this type of a situation. I mean, they've had some rough patches here and there, but this is about as rough as it's gotten in terms of zooming out and looking at our record over the last month, even two. I mean, I don't think we've strung wins together since late November or something like that. November. No. I think November into December, if I'm not mistaken, is the last time we won 2 games in a row, which is fucked up to think about.
They only have 3 wins in 2026 altogether.
Yeah, that's a problem. We're going to have to right the ship before this Olympic break. And like I said, that's all the more reason I'd rather them, if they're going to make a big move, I'd rather them do it the sooner the better.
Yeah.
Get that guy in here, make the adjustments, start. There's always going to be a learning curve with a new guy, and there's going to be the awkward phase in the locker room of this guy's here, somebody else left. Get that over with ASAP. And that could only help things the sooner you do it.
Yeah, I totally agree because we're at that point now where it's like, okay, you really got to start winning some games, and you can't just hold out hope that this Olympic break is going to make everything magically better because it usually has the exact opposite effect on this hockey team. And I don't know how many times we've seen the Caps make a move at the deadline and that player not work out at all. Like I'm
Yeah.
just thinking about like that dead zone from 2011 to 2015 where it was
Yeah.
guys like Curtis Glenncross
Mhm.
and Dustin Penner and
Yep.
I mean Mike Richards. Like
Joe
I
Corvo,
I forgot
fucking
about that
Marty
one.
Urad, all
Yeah,
those, yeah. Yeah, or
like
even later on when we tried to take, like, a big fucking swing for the fences and go get, like, Shattenkirk and,
yeah,
you hear the deal and you're like, "Holy fuck, we're winning the cup," and then it's like, sometimes the move's, like, almost too big, like, they tried to do
yeah,
too much, and it's just I don't know, you can't bring in, like, a new top defenseman, like, all of a sudden and just expect that to not, like, kinda fuck with things.
exactly. That game to Florida that was frustrating. You know, I don't know why it's like anytime like Reinhart or like Bennett play against the Caps, they just become superhuman. But that Florida team is tough to beat. I thought they held it in there, there against the Avs. We were talking about that a little bit before we jumped on the show.
Yeah.
That's just you can't beat that hockey team. I
We
think
finally won a goalie interference call. Didn't matter, but
that was the
we'll
real victory
we'll
of that
take the
game
small
was winning
victories.
the goalie interference call.
Yeah.
But yeah, they really need to win tonight or last night when you guys are probably already laughing at the fact that the Washington Capitals lost 4-1 to the Vancouver
I
Canucks. But
swear to God, dude, we can't have that
no, they
happen.
really need to win tonight. Yeah, I think
This road
like
trip is massive. These next 5 games, it's a
yeah,
6-game road trip. They gotta win, like, 4 of those 6 games and ideally be getting points in, like, every single one.
yeah, because they're not back home until Saturday the 31st against the Hurricanes. And on this road trip tonight, they have Vancouver. Friday, they're in Calgary. Saturday in Edmonton. Tuesday in Seattle. Thursday in Detroit. And then home back against Carolina. So,
I mean, to me, the Edmonton and the what was the last one? Detroit.
yeah.
The Edmonton and the Detroit ones are obviously the hardest ones
Yes.
besides the Avalanche, which already happened. Um, you have to get 2 points in the Calgary, the Vancouver, and the Seattle. You
That's a no
have to
brainer.
win all 3 of those games. If you lose the other 2, okay, I get it. Those are good teams, but you're also gonna have to beat some good teams at some point. And, ideally, maybe we at least take one of those teams to overtime or something, and I'll be happy.
Yeah. They have 9 games until the Olympic break. I would say they need to have 6 of them.
Yeah. And again, wouldn't it be great, Chris Patrick talking about this top 6 winger as a priority that we're gonna go and get. Wouldn't it be great to have that guy play 5 or 6 of those
Oh,
9
yeah.
games? I mean, he's not going to because 'cause they're on the road. They're not gonna probably acquire somebody in the middle of this road trip, I wouldn't think, but, like, wouldn't it be nice to at least have him in that Carolina game on the 31st to close out the month, and then he plays, like, the last 2 or 3 before the break or something? And then,
Yeah.
whatever, he can go use the break if he's not in the Olympics to, move his shit. It doesn't have to be, like I don't know. I hope
Makes
they're
sense
not
to me.
thinking too hard about logistics, like, "Oh, well, we don't wanna make a guy move right before the Olympic." Like, just fucking make the hockey decision, dude. People will figure it out. They're
Yeah.
big boys. They play in the NHL.
Yeah. That or they can, hire movers.